Me hanging around with him has turned me into a moaner, a glorified moaner. Rory, by the way, moans about random things as well, like you're not allowed to have an umbrella, you can't wear a hat inside a restaurant, I'm not allowed to wear a tracksuit over 40, and I'm not allowed to have a backpack.
Do you know the other one? People who eat in cinemas. It's an hour and a half, you pig. You can go an hour and a half without something to eat. If I'm in a restaurant or a coffee or whatever, and they have a conversation with me, but they're looking at Instagram. What's that got to do with now? You're having dinner with me. You put idiots on the telly and other idiots will watch.
Hello everyone, I'm Andy Oladipo.
And I'm Rory Jennings.
Oh, well, I thought I was supposed to do that.
I thought we'd riff.
Oh, we're doing that, we're just doing that as normal, yeah?
Yeah, I thought we could go for it. It's like our thing.
I like it.
And soon, do you know what we could do? We could mix it up.
Go on.
I could go, he's Ade Oladipo.
And he's Rory Jennings.
There we go. Yeah, we're like Morecambe and Wise.
Yeah. I was thinking more Ant and Dec, if I'm honest with you. We are two of the biggest moaners on planet Earth. I don't know what's happened. I don't know if it's age. I don't know why it's happened. I don't know if it's London life. But all of a sudden, it's him, by the way. Me hanging around with him has turned me into a moaner, a glorified moaner. So we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about why you are this guy. This is a very sort of different episode. We're going to talk about our moaning and why Rory, as he approaches the big 4-0, has just become such a moaner in life. Yeah. What's happened?
I don't know.
When I met you 3 years ago, you weren't like this.
Do you not think?
No.
I've become very cynical.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Do you know what? Do you know where I think the epiphany of it happened? Do you know when you suddenly go, oh, wow. Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yes.
Suddenly, Larry David as a character,
God, yeah.
there's a seminal moment in my life where Larry David as a character has gone from being this ridiculous bloke who behaves in moronic ways to being completely right in every situation he finds himself in.
And that's you, isn't it?
That's me. Like, suddenly, I'm looking at Larry David, I'm like, no, he's in the right here. You know when he does something truly ridiculous?
Yeah, but you find a reason for him to be in the right.
He's always right.
Okay. Right.
And yeah, I feel like I'm turning into Larry David.
All right, let's talk about things that make us grumpy. I've got some subjects here in front of me, put together by our wonderful producer, Lucy. The thing that I guess has made us really grumpy, both of us this season, is our football teams.
Yes.
Yeah, like without a doubt, they have made me a very, very unhappy, moany guy.
Do you think... See, this is one of those weird angers for me that I think has dissipated. Obviously, I'm annoyed when Chelsea lose. Obviously, I'm frustrated when Chelsea make ridiculous decisions. I don't like the way the club's being run. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
But the days of Chelsea ruining my weekend, which they could once do,
okay.
The days of
When did that stop?
I think when I had a kid.
Yeah.
I think because you can't. I've got to go to a trampoline park. Do you know what I mean? I can't mope. I can't be in a pub all day moaning about the football team. Yeah. I've got to go and bounce around or go to Legoland. So I think that's changed it. I'll be annoyed at the time. I'll be furious at the time. And I'd say within an hour the anger is dissipated.
Okay.
But it does still get me.
It still lingers.
Yeah. Do you know where else I get it football-wise?
Go on.
Playing and losing. Playing football, and I'm still a child when I play. I still get incredibly competitive, despite obviously any football I play never matters, but it really matters at the time. Have arguments with mates. Do you know, like fall out with people who I rate,
because
respect.
Of not real football. Sorry.
Yeah, but just on a football pitch. Like I think moaning in sport though isn't the same as being a moaner. Like I think you should moan in sport. I think you should.
Are you talking about watching or participating?
Both.
Here? Okay, yeah.
I think maybe watching you should be less moany because your moaning won't have an impact.
Football though, just like, and maybe I'm going to say football in the 90s was fantastic and footballers were fantastic, and I'm guessing someone that is old enough is going to say, well, in the 70s it was even better because you can go and have a pint with them in the pub. Whereas now, my thing about football is how disconnected it is with real life.
You're right.
Like the players are disconnected, the money's disconnected. Like that bit when, I think every club will do it, but the bit where you see Arsenal and the girl's got she's got a sign out there and she's wanting them to sign, or I can't remember what it is, they've got a shirt out there and they're not even looking at her. She's not there. And they're just signing and just moving
that's
in.
Not
and
a dig at Arsenal.
No, it's not. Because that's anyone will do it.
Yeah.
But
do you know what? I think you're completely right, but this isn't us being older or us being particularly moany. This is just us living in the world that we live in, reacting to the culture and the conditions that we are.
But I do wonder if a 20-year-old look at that and moan.
No, they would.
You think?
Because football has changed. Football has changed so much. it used to be incredibly relatable.
Of course.
Like, you know when I was a kid and Dennis Wise was captaining Chelsea, Dennis Wise was me. He's totally relatable to who I am.
Same height, everything.
Same height from Notting Hill. Like I could relate to Dennis Wise. Yeah. Whereas, like, realistically, I have nothing in common with Kai Havertz. And I'll give you an even better example of this, right, where it really hit me. When I was a kid, Chelsea used to train at Harlington. And I'd get in my dad's cab and we'd go there and we'd watch them play. And you'd have truly brilliant, mesmerising, elite footballers. I'm talking Mark Hughes. Yeah. I'm talking Rud Hullet.
Yeah.
Rud Hullet would have a shot at goal and he'd kick it over the bar. And he'd go to me, the kid, he'd go and get that. Oh, right?
That's amazing, isn't
Rud
it?
Hullet won the Ballon d'Or, played for AC Milan.
One of the greatest players of all time. Greatest all time.
Thank you. Yeah. Now, if I wanted my daughter to meet Hakim Ziyech, who isn't a shadow of the player that Rud Hullet is, if I wanted my daughter to meet Kai Havertz, who isn't fit to lace Rud Hullet's boots, couldn't get near him. Couldn't get near him, and he's a multi-millionaire. Rud Hullet would have obviously been privileged. He was one of the, won a Ballon d'Or. But he wouldn't have been anywhere near. Like, Kai Havertz now has generational wealth. The disparity between, like, average footballers, generational
Bang
wealth.
average as well.
Bang average footballers.
Bang
Timo
average
Werner, generational wealth.
Mate.
Whereas when I was a kid, you had fantastic players.
Yeah.
That
were relatable.
That were relatable and accessible.
Yeah.
And I think you could honestly feel. I think there was a perfect time of football, and it was the late 90s, early 2000s. So say 97 to 2002, because football had changed. It had become safe. You weren't going to get battered in the stadium. It had got enough of new football. There was amazing footballers. Eric Cantona was here. Gianfranco Zola was here, but it was still a tenner a ticket. You could still sit on the benches at Chelsea, which was a £5 a ticket. You could still look at certain players and go, like Gavin Peacock's playing with Rud Hullet. There's a chance for me here.
I wonder, sorry to cut across you, I wonder if that's how young females growing up now feel about female football. Like, there's that relatable, right? Where tenner a ticket, you know the players' names.
I think people are feeling like this about female football across the game. I think a lot of people are looking at what's going on in the women's game and saying that where the male game is lost and
completely
bewildering,
lost.
Like money, the amount of despicable money sloshing about in Premier League football.
Yeah.
Even. It's grim. And then you look at the Champions League and the modifications to the Champions League and the World Cup, and what you can see, and it's so apparent, is there's just a desire to squeeze every
single penny from us.
Whereas you look at, I don't know, I met Jill Scott fairly recently. She was in talkSPORT. When I say met her, I saw her and she was talking to Shaban while I was in the room.
Yeah.
Hey, she got the tube there.
Yeah.
She got the tube there. Do you know what I mean? She got the tube there.
She didn't come with an entourage either.
No, she got the tube there. She was on her own.
There you go. Yeah. See, there you go. All right, let's talk about us, because we can talk about football all day. Easy subject. What do you hate about me? What makes you moan? Like when you be nice. When you think about Ade, what really just grinds your gears?
Something winds me up. I'd say when I text you and you don't reply. Sometimes when I text you things that benefit you and you still don't reply, I find that a slight wind up.
Yeah.
But no, I mean
I've got one that really annoys. Can I say something really annoys me about you?
I was about to say we're mates, so there's not too much.
No, it really annoys me. So we could be on the air, talkSPORT 2, we're doing our show, and Rory's on his phone. And I'm like looking at him for something, and he's just on his phone.
Research purposes.
No, it's not
research purposes. I'm reading the script.
It's not research purposes. I'm not having it. He's on his phone doing something. I don't know what it is, but it's not research purposes.
Okay, hang on a minute. This is applicable to you then, if you really want to do this.
Go on then.
When we're at work, there is a chance I'm on the phone. I agree, right?
You agree with that?
Yeah, in the studio. There is a chance. And also, I think it's important to point out, sometimes that will be to have the Premier League table up. Sometimes it will be Twitter. Yeah. Sometimes it will not be.
Sometimes it'll be his YouTube.
I'll tell you where I'm not bad for it and where you're terrible, and I make a point of not being bad.
I've improved.
If I'm out for dinner,
I've improved.
If I'm in a restaurant or a coffee or whatever, in fact, this is one of my biggest things. If I go for dinner with somebody and they have a conversation with me, but they're looking at the phone, so they're kind of talking to me in the way that I'm talking to you now, but they're actually staring at their phone. They're actually looking at something that isn't even relevant. If they've got a kid and the babysitter's text, that's different. They're looking at Instagram. They go, Demi Moore's just put a new picture up. What's that got to do with now? You're having dinner with me, and you've.
I used to be like that. I used to be like that with Rory. I've changed.
I'll never do that in a restaurant.
I feel like I've changed.
And do you know what I do when I see my group of mates now, like my mates from school, basically, which we go out for dinner once a month, and it's getting like less and less regular. Do you know what I insist on? I say, everyone put the phones away. First one to pick their phone up pays the whole bill. Second one, those two split the bill. Third one,
that's proper, that, isn't it?
Yeah. And then what happens is you're all present.
You know, I can't stand when I do see a group of people, and I point it out when I'm with my friends. Look at that, they're all on their phones. No one's actually even having a conversation with anyone.
You may as well not
why
be
is
there.
your phone? Obviously, it's on because of work purposes now.
Yeah.
But why is your phone on the table?
I know.
Like, you're out with each other. Have conversations.
I completely agree.
It's horrible.
The other thing is, you know, if I am out for dinner with someone, do you know who done this to me the other day? My mother.
Say names. Oh, your mum.
My mother. Who, like, look, I adore my mum, obviously, right? But do you know what she did? We were having dinner. Her phone rung in the restaurant, quite loud, right? All You Need Is Love, the Beatles, playing on her phone, loud. I thought, God, Mum, lock that off. You know, bit of respect. Not only did she not lock it off.
She did not answer.
Sitting at the table with me, she went, hiya. I went, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She went, it's just Rhonda. Just speaking to Rhonda.
It's bad, that.
I was like, you joking?
Where's she got that from?
Are you joking? Like, unless this is like a phone call that has to be answered. And you know, those phone calls exist.
The ones that have to be answered.
And I know the ones from my mum that has to be answered, and that's not one of them. And if it does have to be answered, politely excuse yourself and go and stand outside the restaurant. You know, people sitting in a restaurant on the phone. People do it on the tube all the time, just on the phone, loud.
Crazy.
Unbelievable. I saw somebody watching a video.
See, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, people? Here it comes.
Watching a video on the tube.
What's wrong with that?
Watching a YouTube video, but with no headphones in. Just playing the thing. And do you know what? Then I've got a situation. Because in my head, I'm immediately thinking, I've got to say something.
See,
and then I've got Victoria going to me. Then I've got Victoria like burning a hole in my head going, do not get involved in this situation. So then I find myself just sitting there thinking, fuck. Like furious. Yeah, it drives me mad. Just etiquette.
You're so old.
Just be polite.
I used to be that guy at the back of the bus as a kid that made a lot of noise.
No, but if you're a 16-year-old, it's different. You're playing by different rules. You're an idiot.
Yeah,
you're a complete idiot.
If you're an adult, and you're doing that, then yeah.
I'm on the tube, and it's like a group of school kids get on.
By the way, I would never have done that. I was a bit naughty when I was a kid, but I would never have done that.
Also, do you know what I found very disrespectful about it? They're doing it. They're doing it. Like, not necessarily in front of me because... But, you know, there's like other, like, I don't know, there's older women on the train. And you standing on the seat, swinging off the bars, like playing your music out loud. It's intimidating. Like, I'm not intimidated in this situation.
Scary.
Yeah.
Aside from the fact it's
rude, see that.
It's quite scary because you have seen these videos of people approaching them and then it gets violent. Yeah. So there is that kind of, okay, what do you do? I agree. So what do you do? Do you tell them to shut up and sit down, or do you just...
Well, I did nothing. Yeah. I did nothing, which doesn't sit comfortably with me.
Though, aren't you?
No, yes, I know. In terms of delivery, in terms of what I can do, very. Yeah. But I've also very forward in terms of going, wait, mate, I was out with my kid the other day and someone swore in front of her. So, wait, what are you doing?
Okay, that's a bit much.
But realistically, it's not. I shouldn't do that. It's not a wise thing to do.
We're gonna have an episode of animals soon. Don't know why we're doing that. Because no, you don't. You love dogs.
Prefer them to people.
No, you love dogs.
I
love
all
animals.
Love them.
Snakes.
Love them.
Snakes.
I love them from afar. I don't want to cuddle a snake.
You know, one thing I can't stand is people that I've seen a lot of videos of it recently. People that think they can play with these animals and then they get hurt by them.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, why have you? Like, I saw some woman the other day tried to give bananas to an elephant, and she's like, "Oh, it's so cute." The elephant just whacked her. I'm like, "Well, who told you to do that?"
Yeah. No, I think.
Told you to do that.
Also, you know, when you try to infantilize an animal, like it's a wild animal.
It's a wild animal.
Show it the respect it deserves.
It's the cartoons growing up. I'm convinced of it. Or maybe they've watched too many episodes of David Attenborough and think this is how it is.
No, do you know what my guilty pleasure is? Like, in my opinion, they're the worst people in the world. Like the very worst people in the world.
Who?
They thrive and pay quite a lot of money to go and hunt animals.
Oh no!
I love it when they get got.
Okay.
You know if there's a video online and it's a bullfighter, it's a bullfighter and he gets gored. Yeah. That's my
what's that? I think trophy hunting. Yeah. Or something along those lines.
When they get
they show a picture of the animal dead and they're next to it celebrating.
When they get done,
when it goes the other way around,
I love it. Yeah, a bullfighter. You know when you see the geezer, little idiot prancing about in his you know when a bull gets him.
Yeah, and sticks it right up the rectum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the dream.
Okay, cool. Favorite TV film right now?
Favourite TV show?
The TV show.
I'm watching a show called Fauda. It's an Israeli show. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Subtitled. It's about the conflict between Israel and Palestine.
That's the good stuff. What about the opposite side, the one you absolutely hate?
What,
So I
TV
guess you
shows?
wouldn't really watch it, but ones you know about that you can't stand.
I have never watched.
Did you watch Made in Chelsea?
I've never watched any
You don't watch
of
any
that style of show.
Towie?
What are they called? Never.
Well, your missus used to work
My
on
missus
Towie.
does work on it.
Okay.
I mean, I support her. I support her career,
Yeah.
and she's very good at what she does. But no,
My ex used to put on the Kardashians,
Ah.
and I'm not joking. It made me look at her differently. Like really, genuinely, I really looked at like.
Do you know if
how's
that
your
kind
brain?
of like we watch telly together?
Yeah.
But when Victoria's watching that style of show, whether it's
Do you not
Love
question
Island,
her?
whether it's Love Island, no, I think we've all got our.
I've never watched Love Island in my life.
So I would never watch it. I've never watched
Never
an episode.
watched it.
Love Island, anything like that. The
All
Jungle,
that reality
right,
type
whatever.
stuff. Yeah.
There's certain things that I just can't have on. So certain things Victoria watches that I don't watch, I don't mind. Obviously, she can just have it on in the house, whatever. But if she's got that Only Way Is Essex on, or she's got the Chelsea, or whatever. If she's actually got that, I'm like, Victoria, you're gonna have to put this on an iPad upstairs, man, because I can't have these accents in the house. I can't have it on. I can't have it around me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Like you're killing my brain cells.
Yeah.
Like, this kind of content
make
is
your brain go
killing
soft.
me.
Do you know the other thing? When I go down my mum's, do you know that daytime?
Oh, my mum loves that.
I
nonsense.
go down my mum's.
Rubbish.
I was at my mum's the other day, right? There's a little coffee shop by West Hampstead Station. And I had to go and sit in there on my own because I'd spent 45 minutes in my mum's and I said, Mum, I've got to get out of here. This idiot, Jeremy Vine, with these two other idiots arguing about idiotic... I've got to get out of this house. My brain is going soft. At the moment, drinking this in, absorbing this, my brain is turning into mush. I've got to get out of this house. And I just had to go and sit on West End Lane, just like...
You know what's scary is that those type of shows do massive numbers.
Yeah, because...
Does that mean everyone's dumb? Well, we're going to go on, speak your mind, speak the truth and shame the devil.
I think there's a lowest common denominator. I think there's a lowest common denominator that exists, isn't there? Like basically you put idiots on the telly and other idiots will watch.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what happens.
Wait, are you trying to say you never watched Big Brother back in the day?
I've worked on Big Brother.
But you must have watched.
I've watched one series of Big Brother in my life, and it was the series I worked on.
Okay.
But of course, I didn't understand. I genuinely can't understand it. I can't understand why people want to watch it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, in theory, what Big Brother is supposed to be, a social experiment.
Yeah.
It wasn't that. In the way that Pop Idol or whatever was what it was supposed to be, was a hunt for an undiscovered brilliant singer, but it wasn't.
Never really was that,
It was
was it?
exploitative TV that put desperate people in front of other slightly less desperate people to laugh at. That's what it was. All that stuff was that. All that stuff, when we were young, was exploitation that people didn't realise was exploitation, or people turned a blind eye to it.
But at least
Little Britain was that.
I agree, but at least with Big Brother, it was individuals, right? I still felt like I was watching individuals. When you see Love Island, it does look like it's 20 of the same people, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah, I see-
teeth have been whitened, the girls have the wigs on, the guys have six packs, everyone's tanned.
6-pack, sleeve tattoos,
So,
not a brain
it's
cell.
it's a certain look, isn't it? Certain looks, yeah.
Yeah, but do you know people like that though? Do you find this? When I meet somebody like that, I'm just so like I'm not in the room. If I meet somebody and they've got that idiotic accent, mad, right. I'm just tuned out. I'm just gone. I'm like, before they've even said hello, I need to get away from you. Like, not only do I dislike you, I dislike everything that you represent. I'm not in the room. Funnily enough, I was at the boxing recently. I was in this VIP area of the boxing, got introduced to someone who I wasn't overly impressed by to begin with. I went, what did he do? He went, I'm in Made in Chelsea. I went, goodbye. I went, see you later. I'm goodbye. Yeah.
It's like everything about
I dislike not only about you, but about what you represent, about who you are, about your contribution to society. I hate you.
everything. Yeah. They are the worst kind indeed. Oh,
God, we really are moany.
Oh, we are. It's you. I told you. I said to everyone at the start, it's not me, it's him.
Before we actually started filming this episode, I heard you sort of saying, I don't know if there's going to be enough for us to talk about. I don't think we're that moany. Yeah, we are.
Yeah, there's a lot. We both drive.
Yep.
Any
No,
incidents?
weirdly.
Any incidents, Rory?
No,
Driving?
I'm a very calm. What I'm not. Look, I get slightly annoyed if you aren't going the speed limit.
Yeah.
So like, don't go less than the speed limit. But I don't exceed the speed limit either. I'm a very calm driver.
I think Rory's been in my car a few times
you're
where I lose
lunatic.
the plot. And Rory's always like, well, if you go out and smack him, then your life.
Because also
ruined.
you're so banged to rights.
Yeah, I'm done. Yeah.
You're so banged to rights. Like,
Yeah,
no,
I do lose it, yeah. I definitely have road rage, and I don't know how to control it. You know, it's my mum. I got it from my mum.
Was she like that in the car?
Mental.
Was she?
Mental. Would say every word under the sun. I'm like, Mum,
my mum's
you
quite
can't
bad for
say
that.
those words. Like, stop.
When I'm in the car with my mum now, do you know what she's
What's wrong
like?
with you?
She's done it fairly recently. Like, if someone pulls out a bit quick in front of her or whatever, she'll flash. I'm like, Mum, what's the scenario here? He stops the car now.
Yeah.
He stops the car and gets out. And then what?
Then what? What's going to happen?
What? Yeah, and weirdly, because I can make a mistake in the way that I sort of conduct myself in many aspects of my life, and I can be a little bit sort of on the front foot. But driving is an area where I'm very relaxed. Like, I don't, like, all I do really as soon as I'm driving, I get Boney M on, and I use it as a little bit of Rory time.
Okay, that's good. What about the other side of it? So, like the parking tickets, the traffic wardens. I think they are the worst people on earth. Like they say, on earth.
Do you know what I see?
On earth.
I get my fair share of parking tickets.
Loads.
But I just see it as...
What?
I see it as like
Part and
cost of
parcel
living, yeah. The cost of just...
Oh, so you just add as part of your monthly outgoings?
No, I mean, I don't like getting them. I do my best to avoid them, and I try and play by the rules. But invariably, particularly living in London, like you can't park anywhere.
No.
Like you can't park
No.
anywhere.
No.
And I think it has a detrimental impact on businesses. But like,
Yeah,
I think if you live in London and you
there's some
drive in London,
restaurants
gone out of business.
I can't come to you because I can't park my
of
car there
course.
because I need to walk 20 minutes away as well.
Of course.
I'm not going to come
and
to you.
It's forcing everybody to go into a Westfield or whatever.
And
it's
that's
a
why
shame. It's
people
a
are doing
real
the
shame.
Uber Eats. Like, I don't have to park, so I can just order it, press a
yeah.
button, and it comes to the house. Yeah, so the government needs to get a hold of it. Rory, by the way, moans about random things as well. Like, if it's raining outside, unfortunately, you're not allowed to have an umbrella. You can't wear a hat inside a restaurant.
You certainly shouldn't have a hat
I'm not
on.
allowed to wear a tracksuit over 40.
It's weird.
And I'm not allowed to have a backpack.
All these things are correct.
No.
All these things are completely correct. Like, all those things I agree. Do you know the other thing that really
So you don't
winds
own a
me off?
tracksuit?
I do own a tracksuit, but I would wear it specifically. Like, the only place I would wear it would be round my house and at a push, pick my kid up from nursery if I'm busy.
So how do you feel then when you see me wear it to talk
I
sport?
can't believe it. You wear it out. You get on the tube in a tracksuit. I can't believe it. I think it's ludicrous. I'm embarrassed for you. I can't believe it.
You're 40. You're 40.
I cannot believe that you would wear a tracksuit. I can't believe anybody would.
But I think you dress old.
I don't
That's
dress
what it
old.
is.
I dress like an adult.
Yeah, not like a 60-year-old adult.
No, just like an adult. I dress.
I mean,
as
today you
should.
look good. No, today you look, perfect.
Yeah, tracksuits I can't understand at all. What else did you say? Take your hat off as soon as you go in a restaurant. Obviously, sit in a restaurant with a hat on. How disgraceful. If I own a restaurant...
I guess it depends on the hat. Like this is okay.
It's slightly different.
This is okay.
Slightly
So you're
different.
talking about a
I'm
cap,
talking about
like a baseball cap.
I'm
Okay,
talking about
okay.
a baseball cap,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
But I think that, do you know there was a celebrity recently who tried to go, I think, to Sexy Fish in Mayfair.
Yeah, nice place.
And wasn't
Have you been there?
allowed
Have you
in.
been there?
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah,
nice,
love
really
it.
good, yeah.
Wasn't allowed in because of the way that she was dressed, or he was dressed. And this story is definitely out there, right? And went onto social media and was like, "This is a disgrace. I was dressed in there. Like, why can't?" It's like, they've got rules. Play by the rules.
Yeah.
Dress properly, and you can go.
Agreed.
Like, who do you think you are that you can turn up in your pajamas and get a seat at a nice
No,
restaurant?
you are correct. I mean, back in the day, I remember me and my friend.
I'll tell you.
Me and my friend used to go to those clubs, China Whites, those clubs, 10 rooms, and they didn't let us in because we were wearing trainers, and we used to think it was racism, but it wasn't. We were just dressed like kids.
You're not dressing.
Yeah, we're not
as-
dressed
yeah.
appropriately to get in. Yeah, so we couldn't get in. The umbrella one though that you have is stupid. Like
No.
if it's raining outside and you have an umbrella, use it. You find it weird that people would use umbrellas.
Yeah, I don't think you need an umbrella. God, get a bit wet. It's walking down the street, banging into everybody with an umbrella. Do you know the other one? Eating. People who eat in cinemas. It's an hour and a half, you pig. You can go an hour and a half without something to eat.
Wait. Now I know you're joking.
Sitting there
No, one
scoffing.
second. Now I know you're joking.
No.
Are you telling me you don't get popcorn or hot dogs or sweets?
Of course I don't. I'll eat in my
How
house
does
or a kitchen.
Victoria do this? How does she handle this with
Do you
you?
think it's correct that you could just sit there, stuff? Do you know the everyman?
I do hate the noise. I hate the noise of hearing
The
it.
smell of it. Now it's not only popcorn. Like you should. I don't mean
real food now.
It's
Proper-
all a
proper.
hot dog. What's
Yeah.
a hot dog for, mate? Like it's an hour and a half of film. You're
Yeah.
gonna be all right. I can tell that you're gonna survive this. You can go an hour and a half without grazing. You'll be all right.
Grazing.
Yeah, you'll be all right, mate.
Rory, you are the moaner of all moaners. I said it. I said that you
Nothing
are the
get on you, no? Is there nothing like that? Nothing almost... Because with mine, some of them at least, I can understand why some people would say, like, look, dressing properly or whatever, I don't think that's outrageous. But eating in cinemas, I don't think you should do it.
You're not really tickles me, like really grinds my gears. But it's probably another episode, the cancel culture. So it's a different one, isn't it? This isn't just your average daily moaning. It's the fear of me wanting to put a tweet out. I'm thinking, oh, I can't do that. And you know, oh my God, Elon Musk did it the other day. It's very interesting. So he was sitting down with someone and he's going back and forth with someone right now. And the guy was like, you know, you're going back and forth affects Tesla's share price. It affects this, it affects that. And Elon Musk said, you know what? He quoted a bit from a movie about, this is the movie, I can't remember the movie, but he quoted a bit where a guy had lost his daughter and someone came up to him and sort of offered money and stuff. And Elon Musk said, I don't care. I don't care about the money I lose. I don't care about anything. It's my principle.
Easy to say that when you're a billionaire, isn't it?
He's worth 100 billion. Yeah. But that really, cancel culture really, that's the thing that annoys me the most.
That is, I mean, that's an episode. That's
more than anything.
We're talking about, that's a deep.
Other than that, I'm not like you.
You're not moaning like that.
No, I can't. It shocks me how much you are like this.
Principle.
Stop.
Principle, mate.
You've lost the plot. Like eating at cinemas, umbrellas, hats in restaurants. You really
stand by every one of them.
Are they wearing a tracksuit?
I'll tell you what.
Are they having a backpack?
I guarantee you this, right? I guarantee you this. That the vast majority of people, they might not be as animated about it as me, but the vast majority of people would agree.
The funny thing is, I think if we called your wife right now...
No, she don't agree with anything.
She don't agree with anything.
No, she don't agree with anything. No, she thinks I'm losing the plot. Yeah.
As always, look, if you agree with Rory or agree with me, let me know. Leave a comment if you're watching this on our YouTube channel. Make sure you share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you can download this podcast, as always, from wherever you download your podcast from.